Hi, everyone. Happy everyone can be here with me on this Wednesday. Welcome back to another live stream brought to you by the awesome people over at Princess Dental Staffing. So, today's topic, we are talking about cover letters for dental receptionists. I know, I know. How many of you are rolling your eyes at me right now? A cover letter? Ugh. You spent so much time already creating, writing, editing, reviewing, editing again, and perfecting the resume. And now you have to write a cover letter as well. Ugh, right? I know, I completely understand. I get plenty of clients who tell me the same thing. Do I really, really need to write a cover letter? I don't really think I need to write a cover letter. I hear all of those comments all the time. And I'm here to tell you yes, please write a cover letter and submit it with your resume. Okay. And the reason why, so there are several different benefits of writing and submitting a cover letter, right? Because if you think about it, the worst case scenario is that the hiring manager just won't read the cover letter, and then you've wasted that time for nothing, right? Writing that cover letter maybe takes an hour, maybe two, and then you've submitted it and then don't even read it. Okay. And that is a possibility. But best case scenario, they read the cover letter and it actually enhances your application packet, right? They read your cover letter and it actually helps build that relationship between you and that hiring manager. It entices the hiring manager and it makes them more excited to learn more about you and what you plan to bring to the table if they hire you, right? Additionally, a cover letter can also include some extra information that maybe you couldn't fit on your resume. It can include information such as, why you're passionate about what it is that you do and, what drives you to be the best in your field. Okay. And all of those things are great pieces of information and data for hiring managers. And it really does help them make a decision regarding, who they're going to invite to the interview process. Okay. Additionally, for those of you naysayers out there who say, hiring managers actually don't read cover letters, so there's really no point. ResumeGenius.com finds that 83% of hiring managers read at least some of those cover letters, at least 50, sometimes 100% of the cover letters that they receive, right? And a lot of that is based on, whether or not they like the resume, right? So if they like the resume, a lot of the times they'll read the cover letter as well. Okay, and other sites have similar, have similar statistics in terms of who is actually reading these cover letters. So there is a better than average chance that your hiring manager is going to be reading your cover letter. So definitely sit down and write one. Okay. I know it's overwhelming and intimidating, but that's okay because today we are giving you 6 easy steps to create this cover letter for your dental receptionist role that you are applying for. Okay. So we'll be talking about that in a minute. But before I dive too deeply into, these steps and, the different parts of a cover letter and all of that great information, just want to remind everyone that Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board and they have positions available for dental receptionists, also dental assistants, dental hygienists, and dentists in a variety of different areas. They have full-time, they have part-time, they have permanent roles, they have contract roles. Okay. So if you have some time today, hop onto princessdentalstaffing.com, see what positions they have available in your area. And if you would like to apply for one, make sure you get that cover letter ready. Okay. Additionally, you can also create a profile and get your information in front of hiring managers as well on princessdentalstaffing.com. And you can check out their blog, which covers a lot of the same topics that we cover in these live streams. Speaking of these live streams, each week, Princess Dental Staffing is bringing you a new live stream on Wednesdays that covers your different topics talking about your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you like the content that we're bringing you, drop us a like. And if you want to be part of the conversation and offer insights or thoughts or ask questions, be sure to comment them below. Okay? All right. So let's start off by talking about what a dental receptionist is, what they do, and some of the skills that they are definitely going to want to focus on, not only in their cover letter, but also their resume in order to capture a potential employer's attention. Okay. So a dental receptionist has to have high energy, be hardworking, and do their best to put a smile on people's faces because they are usually the first person that a patient sees when they come through the door, right? So it's important for them to have that not only a professional demeanor, but one that is high energy, one that is positive, and one that is focused on customer service, right? Additionally, multitasking is a must as well. So dental receptionists do things like answer the phone, check in patients, book appointments, and help patients with their billing. Sometimes all at the same time, right? So it's really important to be able to multitask, to reprioritize swiftly, and to switch focuses when you need to. Okay. Additionally, and again, in doing things like checking in patients, booking patients, billing, all those sorts of things, that means you're going to need to have technical skills, right? Computer skills, applications, and software programs, things like Dentrix, Open Dental, EagleSoft, SoftDent, or CareStream. Those tend to be kind of like the more popular software programs that you're going to be using if you're a dental receptionist. So if you have experience with any of those are great things to mention again in your cover letter and or your resume. Okay. Additionally, dental receptionists have to work with everyone, right? Not just patients, but also the dentist, hygienists, assistants, and other dental staff. So teamwork is also a really, really crucial skill to have as well as a dental receptionist. Okay, so that's kind of just in a nutshell. What a dental receptionist does and some of the skills that they need to be able to demonstrate in their application documents as well. Okay. So now let's talk about the anatomy of a cover letter. Okay. So first, you want to start off with your contact information. Okay. Make sure you have your contact information and make sure that it is updated, accurate, and written correctly. Okay. You would be surprised how many clients I have who say, I'm not getting emails, I'm not getting callbacks, and they've mistyped their number or misspelled their email address. Make sure that information is correct and accurate, and make sure you're including it in your cover letter, either in the header of your cover letter, or if you're doing the traditional business letter format, which I recommend that you do as well. Alternatively, you can put it in the upper right hand corner. Okay. um, Next, you want to include their contact information, their being the hiring manager's contact information. So you want to make sure to include the hiring manager's name, title, company name, address, city, state, zip, um, zip code, yes. So all of that information as well underneath your own. Okay. Now, if you don't know the hiring manager's name, that's fine. You could just put, hiring manager. Okay. But if you can, it's always better to try to research, who is going to be making this decision and using that person's name. It's just a personal touch. And a lot of the times it only takes 5 minutes to research, right? Sometimes you can see it in the job posting. Some potential employers will put in the job posting, send your resume to, you know, John Smith or whoever, right? Okay. Okay, next you want to include your salutation, right? The opening of your cover letter. It's usually preceded with dear so and so, right? Usually that so and so is Mr., Mrs., or Miss, and last name. Okay. Alternatively, if you want to be more inclusive, you could do MX period as opposed to doing, Mr., Mrs., or Miss. Okay. If you're not sure, you can also do MX. Like, for example, if they have a name that's where you can't necessarily determine what title that you want to use, you can do MX period. Okay. And again, doing a little bit of research, you can probably find profiles on like LinkedIn or maybe the practice's website, and you can kind of, see from there. Um, Lastly, if you don't want to do any of that, if you don't really want to do Mr., Mrs., Miss, and if you're not really that comfortable with MX, you can also alternatively use their job title. For example, if you're submitting your cover letter and resume to the office manager, you can say Office Manager Jones or something like that. Or, if it's directly to the dentist, you can say Dr. you know, um, Samuels or whoever. Okay. So a few different options there, but generally you want to start with dear so and so colon and then go into your introductory paragraph, which is the next part. Okay. So you definitely want your introductory paragraph to be catchy, to capture the potential employer's attention. You definitely want to mention the job that you're applying for, and you also want to mention, some key skills. I believe that my customer service oriented approach to um, administering front desk operations will prove exceptionally valuable to so and so the company's team or office's practices team as the dental front office associate, dental receptionist, whatever it is, whatever the job title is. Okay. Make sure you're using the job title from the job posting. Okay. Alrighty. And then you want to get into the body of the cover letter. That's usually about two, maybe three paragraphs, depending. Okay. And you want to be able to talk about your experience, your education, your skills, your certifications, and other training. Okay. Lastly, you want to have your closing. Okay. So you end with a closing paragraph. Usually you want to emphasize how you are going to contribute or how you plan to contribute to the practice. Here is a great opportunity to also include, like, for example, if you're not able to answer your phone all hours of the day, you can say, best time to reach me is Monday through Thursday, X AM to Y PM, whatever. Um, and those sorts of things. And then you want to have a closing, which is like, you can say sincerely, best regards, kind regards, your name. And then you want to have enclosure resume. That's a little bit more traditional. You can forego the enclosure resume part just because it's kind of, it's kind of understood that you're including your resume with your cover letter. But it's just traditional enclosure resume. Okay. So those are the different parts of a cover letter. Now let's get into the 6 steps to create an awesome, awesome cover letter. Okay. Step number 1, briefly review the types of experience you have and how they will relate to the new position that you're applying for. Okay. So again, you're going to want to have the job posting up that you're applying for. Take a look at the job posting, see what key skills or areas of expertise that they are specifically looking for in applicants. Okay, and then take a look at your own experience and see which ones you can match. Make sure that you're mentioning those experiences in your cover letter. For example, let's say you're applying to an office or a practice and they would like someone who they prefer someone who can speak Spanish and you do fluently, or maybe you have some remedial Spanish. Make sure you include that, right? Or if you have experience, scheduling with certain software, right? Make sure that you have that experience and it's listed in the job posting. Make sure you highlight that as well. Okay. So you're really going to want to try to, match those different experiences from the job posting with your experience. Okay. Step number 2, knowledge. So any sort of specialized training or certifications that you hold um, are definitely going to be um, they're going to, really um, qualify you for the role, right? These are some key qualifications that make you qualified, or maybe even speak to specific skills. For example, if you're certified in Microsoft Office programs, that's a great thing to include. Okay, even if they didn't specifically necessarily mention it on the job posting, lots of companies use Microsoft Office. So if you're certified, or if you've had specialized training in maybe Excel, or or maybe you've had some training in business communications or things of that nature, those are great things to mention as well. Step number 3, why you chose dental reception as a career. Okay. So think about why you chose dental reception as a career. Is it because you are an incredibly organized individual and that just kind of the organizational skills needed to be a dental receptionist really just kind of align really nicely with your personality? Is it because you have a bubbly personality and you really like to engage with diverse groups of people? Okay. Um, This can definitely be a much more personal touch. It can really kind of humanize you. And again, when I was talking earlier about why, one of the reasons why you want to create a cover letter, again, it can help build that relationship between you and that hiring manager without yet speaking directly with the hiring manager, if that kind of makes sense. So, adding some of those personal touches can really help give the potential employer a great idea of what they can expect if they hire you, and how you are going to perform as a team member, maybe how you are going to fit in with the current team, and how you'll be able to work directly with that hiring manager by adding some of those personal touches. Okay. Additionally, dental offices don't want someone who's going to start and then quit. Right. So, again, just talking about why you chose dental reception can really give the potential employer a great um, view of why you're probably going to stay in the dental field for a long time, right? So it's a great thing to include. Okay. Step number 4, talk a little bit about loyalty, right? So again, a lot of dental offices don't want someone who's just going to start and then quit, and then they've got to start the whole process over again, the hiring process, right? And they've got to start the whole training process again, right? That takes a lot of time, effort, and energy. And they want to make sure that they're hiring somebody who, again, is just going to stick around for a while, or at least plans to stick around for a while, right? So you can also talk a little bit about what makes you want to stay at your job, what drives you to work hard, and what makes you want to be a contributing team member. Okay, all of those things are really great things to see if you're a potential employer reading a cover letter. Okay, number 5, why you left your last job, or why you're looking to leave your current job. Okay, now um, this is a little bit tricky. So let's talk a little bit about, if you choose to include this part in your cover letter. Okay. So, for example, let's say, for example, you have like some gaps in your work history or periods of shorter employment. Okay. Hiring managers look for that kind of information on your resume, and it can be a red flag. Okay. So, in your resume, make sure that you're addressing those gaps and periods of short employment as best as possible. But if you have a lot of that on your resume, a cover letter is a great way to address that information, right? So you might say in your cover letter that you've had multiple temporary roles, right? So it looks a little bit job hoppy because they're temporary. So it's not really job hoppy. It's just that they were shorter roles because they were temporary roles. And maybe now you're looking for a place of employment where you can develop your skills and maybe progress to an office manager role. Or if you're looking to leave your current employment because of downsizing, that's something else that you can talk about as well. Um, but again, it's really going to depend largely on the reason why. If you're looking to leave your potential place of employment because of a toxic work environment, that's not something that I would necessarily mention on a cover letter, just because, again, it can be a red flag to potential employers, not necessarily because they think you're lying, but they're only getting one side of the story, which is yours, right? So it can be, and not only that, if you're comfortable, speaking about your current employer that way, how comfortable are you going to be speaking about that hiring manager's office, right? So it can be a potential red flag. Um, if you want to address why you're leaving your current role or why you left your last role, and it's not necessarily a reason that's very, uh, a very professional necessarily, or or something that you maybe don't want to communicate, you can always leave it general, right? I'm looking to, I'm looking to find another practice where I can grow professionally, or something to that effect. Okay. And lastly, step number 6, talk about how you're a team player. Again, we mentioned earlier when we were talking about what dental receptionists do and some of the skills that they need in order to do their jobs well. Team teamwork and being a team player are a big part of that, right? Not only are you working with a really, really diverse group of patients, right? You're also working with a lot of other professionals, dental assistants, dental hygienists, dentists, office managers, other dental receptionists, and all of these different people. So, really talking about how you're a team player, highlighting some aspects that let the potential employer know that you are a team player, right? So what makes you a team player? Is it your strong communication skills? Is it your problem solving skills? Is it um, your ability to predict needs? Okay, those sorts of things are really great ways to kind of demonstrate how you're a team player, right? So those are great things to mention. Okay. So let's go over them just one more time before we wrap up and I let you go. Step number one, experience. Again, talk about specific experiences that you have and that align with the experiences that they're looking for on the job posting. Number two, knowledge, special training, licenses, certifications, and all those sorts of things that you hold that can really support your qualification for the role that you're applying for. Number three, choose or why you chose dental reception as a career. Talk about why you're passionate about your career. And that can really, again, be more of a personal touch and really demonstrate to dental offices that you're not someone who's just going to start and leave. Okay. Step number four, a little bit about loyalty, right? Again, dental offices want someone who's going to be loyal, who plans to stick around for a while. Okay. So talk a little bit about, what drives your hardworking nature, what makes you want to excel in your role. Okay. Step number five, potentially talking about why you left your last job or why you're looking to leave your current job, assuming that you're leaving the company in good standing. If not, then you want to talk about maybe less why you're leaving and more so um, why you're excited about starting a new role with a new practice. Okay. And lastly, step number six, how you're a team player. Being a dental receptionist means you have to be an exceptional team player. So, how do you contribute to the team, right? How do you build those relationships with the team, and what skills do you possess that help facilitate that teamwork? Okay. Alrighty. Oh, you're late, Wild Sea. No worries. This is getting recorded, and as soon as I'm done, it will be loaded, so you can watch it as many times as you want. No worries. And if you have any questions, comments, want to add to the conversation, comment below, and I will answer your comments as soon as I can. Okay. All right. So I hope that you have enjoyed today's stream and that it's provided you with some great insights and some really, really easy steps to create that dental receptionist cover letter. I know it can be intimidating and overwhelming, but definitely recommend that you take the time to write one, to edit. It can really help strengthen your application and hopefully get you to that interview round. Okay. In the meantime, we will be back next week covering a new topic regarding your career in the dental industry. Until then, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe out there. See you soon.